There's another 379 trillion in real estate, right? Gold is 13 trillion by itself. And then you get to the entire crypto ecosystem is like 2.5 trillion, right? I'm not going to say all of this money is going into crypto, but quite a lot of it will end up in crypto, and a huge amount of it is going to end up in tokenized digital assets.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video, we're going to be jumping into some fundamentals and some video clips confirming everything that we've been attempting to show you all, that financial institutions are 110% interested in utilizing these new technological advancements like DeFi, digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and they are 110% coming. It's just a matter of time and regulatory clarity. With that being said, if you all enjoy deep dives like this, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the platform, always bringing you all the realest information, deep research. Shout out to the CYPRX researchers for the vast amounts of fundamentals that we're going to cover today and video clips. Never bringing hopium and bullish moon boy hype, just straight research from the mouths of the beholders. I cannot stress enough, this stuff is so phenomenal to piece together for you guys. So let's jump in, and we're going to start with a document from the IMF, and it's just going to go hand in hand with some of the things that we've previously touched on, that these financial institutions are building out the system right now in order for them to literally drag and drop the old system onto the new system once regulations are clear enough. And these particular fundamentals go, again, like I mentioned, hand in hand with some panelists that have mentioned these things on stage. So here, I posted this to you guys just a couple days ago. IMF is talking about DeFi. Why should you guys get involved? Why should you all, at least at a minimum, think about educating yourself, heading over to CYPRXtrading.com and start learning about DeFi? Because these large players are. And they're telling you this not only through the panel discussions on stage publicly, but also in their documents. Here you can see this is a document labeled Programmability in Payment and Settlement, Concepts and Implications. 2024 August. So this is just from last month as of time of recording this video. It is the 4th of September. And we can see here, what are they talking about? With payments and traditional financial instruments with DeFi infrastructures, efforts to create a global permission platform have started with private initiatives to public-private partnerships such as Project Agora. While most of these projects are in early phases of exploration, keep in mind we are early, these hybrid financial systems are more open, interconnected, and robust than most existing payment and settlement environments. As some early failures have shown, it will likely take time to properly design platforms and tokenization projects with the right balance or interconnectivity with broader financial systems, balance, governance, regulatory compliance, and maintenance costs. So they're telling you that this is happening. This is unfolding at a rapid pace. But this part of the document is even more important. It says, extensive research is underway to adapt the model of permissionless blockchains and their ecosystems into the context of traditional finance. And right here, they mention Onyx. Onyx is a platform created via JP Morgan. And I'm going to play a video clip of a representative from JP Morgan literally telling you all that they are going to drag and drop the old system onto the new system when regulations are ready, going from private blockchains to public permissionless blockchains in the future. And this is exactly what the document from August 2024 says from the IMF. Okay, so let me stop share. Again, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Always keeping it real with you guys, explaining to you all in detail why you should be heavily fixated and focused on educating yourself in DeFi. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and deploy into DeFi. You don't have to do that. Again, I know that a lot of people are skeptical and are still a little bit risk off about DeFi or getting involved, but that has nothing to do with at least taking initiatives to educate yourself. Okay, and that's why we created the CYPRX Well 28 Club platform, so that way you all can get educated, because look at what these financial institutions are saying. Here's a video breakdown from 2 months ago of an individual representative confirming this to be the case about what this document from the IMF says. Listen.
Blockchain's fair share of incidents over the last 10 years. I think it's fair to say that companies probably want to start off with infrastructure that they can control, that they can experiment with, that they can wall off to the outside world, and then figure out what is the use case of opening it up to a public distributed ledger in sort of a piecemeal way. I think that's, a perfectly viable option. I think when you think about the early stages of the internet, the first internet was a private intranet, between sort of government nodes and universities. And that's how it developed, and that's how it eventually got out there. Now we may be at a stage where we feel, or plenty of people feel, like building on the public blockchain is fine, where you can permission at the smart contract level, at the asset level, or at the chain level, or a side chain level. But I think we should be open to the experimentation across the board. I'm very, very happy to hear that there are large public banks that are experimenting with private blockchains, because that is the beginning of them eventually moving to a public blockchain.
That is the beginning of them eventually moving to a public blockchain. They are experimenting now with private blockchains. Like I mentioned, they're building the system in such a way for them to experiment, run proof of concepts, and test in order for them to then migrate over to public blockchains. Now, this goes hand in hand. Remember, this is from 2 months ago, and the IMF document I just read to you all is from August, so just last month. This goes hand in hand with what a JP Morgan representative said on stage just a couple of months ago, showing you all that this transformation is unfolding. Listen to what this gentleman from JP Morgan says. Take a second and listen.
So right now, clearly, there are a number of reasons, both technological-wise, but also regulatory-wise, as to why we have to use permissioned blockchains. However, you can think about these, globally ever-present, always up, highly redundant public blockchains as a really, really attractive settlement layer that can, service this global market. However, until we actually solve some of the key challenges, specifically around privacy, specifically around things like AML, KYC, it does become difficult for us to fully step into that environment. We did a project last year with the Monetary Authority of Singapore where we demonstrated what it would actually look like for a regulated institution like ourselves to utilize public DeFi protocols, to utilize public blockchains. And very clearly, there were lots of very insightful learnings for us. The transparency that you get around DeFi pools, for example, the ability to have anytime price discovery through a DeFi protocol, very, very important and interesting. Also, the lower cost. But as I said, until we actually have some clarity around the ability to actually operate on this infrastructure from a reg perspective, we're going to have to be in the sort of permission view until we can take some of the hybrid steps. And those hybrid steps look like some of the existing infrastructure that is coming out right now around subnets or permission zones or these kinds of things. And from our perspective, the reason why we operate an EVM sidechain
listen what he says,
is so that everything that we build can actually be portable into a public environment. So all of our contracts are written in Solidity. We use ERC20s for the most part for our tokens. All of our developer tooling is, utilizes the public Ethereum ecosystems tooling set. So actually moving into the public blockchain environment when we can will be much of a sort of a lift and drop scenario.
Right? A lift and drop scenario. I like, this is mind blowing that we came across this information, because it literally just proves everything that we're attempting to show you all. Looking at the documents from the IMF and going over this information and combining it with the panel discussions, we can see the developments are unfolding at a rapid pace. What did the IMF document say? Extensive research is underway to adapt the model of permissionless blockchains and their ecosystems into the context of traditional finance, right? He mentioned publicly on stage that they tested DeFi protocols, and they're building this in such a way for them to lift and drop when the timing is right, when the environment calls for it. So now that those two video clips are out of the way, again, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the platform, showing you guys why you should be heavily vetted into educating yourself about DeFi. Head over to CYPRXtrading.com. We'd love to have you on the Wealth 28 Club team. Get educated, get involved, and enlighten yourself on what's happening behind the scenes, because DeFi is the future. So now let me show you guys, let's transition into one of the networks on the ecosystem, the Sui Network, that I've covered in previous video breakdowns. Here you can see, if we scroll, let's find this video for you all. This video back a month ago, I uploaded roughly about almost 3,000 views. And we talked about Sui, we talked about opportunities, and I proved to you guys in this video breakdown how they're building out the infrastructure for financial institutions to migrate. We saw a Google partnership, we saw a Copper partnership via Sui Network. They are for a fact embedded into building out the infrastructure in order to handle large amounts of volume and volatility that financial institutions are going to bring. And we're continuing to see those ongoing developments. This is from August 28th, so just 6 days ago, 2024. Fortify brings institutional grade security to the Sui network. Now, before we get into this fundamental piece, I want to show you all that they are continuing to talk about this stuff at these public blockchain summits. This is a summit that's set to come out, the Future Blockchain Summit, the 13th to the 16th of October, 2024. So this is in another couple of weeks. And we can see, let's go down here and look at the sponsors. Who is sponsoring? A silver sponsor is Sui, right? And look at the conference. Look at what their agenda is. Agenda 2024. If we scroll right down here, this is insane to see. Where is it at? Let me just find it real quick. Okay, here it is right here. It says, conversation circle number 1, blockchain investment strategic insights for who? Institutional players. Institutional adoption of blockchain tech is accelerating, and organizations leveraging its potential for high returns and enhanced security, i.e., boom, right there. What does it say? Enhanced security. Keep that in mind when we go over the Sui fundamental. While meticulously managing risks and adhering to regulatory requirements, the market is poised for substantial growth. With expanding blockchain investments, new asset classes, and a rising role for digital securities, looking ahead, investment strategies are expected to evolve with a focus on tokenizing traditional assets and embracing what? Decentralized finance, i.e. DeFi innovations. Do you guys see that right there? This is not us making this up. We're trying to show you guys that this is what they are talking about. They're about to bring so much money. I don't even think people are ready for that. And a lot of people are going to get left behind because they're not figuring out ways to grow and expand their wealth now to gain an edge. And you can do that through the utilization of DeFi. Back to this fundamental piece. Sui, the layer 1 blockchain offering industry-leading performance and infinite horizontal scaling, announced that it has joined, let me take off this highlight that makes the text hard to read, announced that it has joined forces with Fortify, a company that employs multi-party computation technology to deliver a secure institutional wallet platform for what? For DeFi. Wow. If you've seen this video breakdown that we posted a month ago, telling everybody that Sui was going to be a major developer and infrastructure provider for institutional DeFi, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Because now again, we're seeing an updated fundamental from just 6 days ago where this is to be the case. Secure institutional wallet platform for DeFi. Okay, this is not a joke. This is going to continue to unfold at a rapid pace, and the Sui network is going to be at the forefront of this digital transformation and onboarding financial institutions. Sui network is, again, in my personal opinion, not financial advice, do your own personal research, one of the sleeping giants in this space to bridge institutional TradFi into DeFi, right? Fortify's integration with Sui does what? It enables institutional users to securely self-custody their private keys and connect to thousands of dApps across various blockchains, ensuring complete control over their digital assets, enhancing operational efficiency, and dramatically simplifying digital asset management. The platform also offers customizable policies to protect workflows and consolidates all digital asset operations into a unified interface, providing a comprehensive and user-friendly asset management solution. Sui's scalable, secure platform is uniquely suited to meet the demands of institutional users, said Cap Gim, global head of marketing for the Sui Foundation. By providing a secure institutional-grade custody solution and seamless access to DeFi features, Fortify empowers asset managers, trading firms, and exchanges to fully leverage Sui's capabilities, enhancing the Sui ecosystem and driving further adoption. Man, let me tell you what a gem. At the end of the day, do your own personal research, not financial advice, but it's just showing you guys why you should be focused on DeFi. At the end of the day, a lot of people are not because they've been so fixated into this hodl mindset. Alleviate yourself from that. And at a minimum, just go get educated. Don't be the skeptic that's sitting on the sideline. There's all DeFi is a scam. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just blah, blah, blah. No, just go educate yourself, enlighten yourself. And once you dive in, you're going to see, holy crap. Okay, financial institutions understand that this is the future. Maybe I should myself. Moving on. And let me show you guys more physical proof that these financial institutions are for a fact discussing and talking about DeFi. So do you all remember a video clip? Let's go ahead and play this real fast. This is something that I posted on. Let me pause that real quick. This is something that I posted on my X profile just today. And it's an individual representative from EY, Paul Brody. He is the global blockchain leader at EY. And he goes on to talk about this great liquidity reservoir, this wall of liquidity that once regulations are clear, is going to, again, to some degree, not all of the money, but some of the money, a large portion of it, trillions of dollars, is going to flood into crypto. And then another portion of the video clip, he mentions what he thinks is going to bring that money into the crypto space is going to be DeFi. And then I'm going to show you, to end this video breakdown, that on stage at a summit that's set to take place, these financial institutions and large organizations, including one of the major consulting firms, EY, are specifically talking about DeFi. My goal here is to get you interested in, at least at a minimum, educating yourself about DeFi. Why? Because I firmly believe it is the future. I want to see my followers thrive and strive in this digital ecosystem moving forward. I want to see you all expand and grow your wealth. And these financial institutions are fixated on just that. So take a second and let's listen to Paul Brody go ahead and mention how much money he believes is going to come into the space once the regulatory floodgates open up.
Is it worth anything? Yes, right? This part of the conversation is called the Great Liquidity Reservoir. And I am going to struggle to convey just how much capital there is behind this regulatory dam, because the numbers are just monumental, right? How much money is there? Well, let's start with the most liquid of the liquid, right? Bank deposits, stocks, and bonds. $400 trillion. Right? Certainly more than my current retirement nest egg, and plenty of money to buy you a nice place in central London or San Francisco, right? 400 trillion. There's another 379 trillion in real estate, right? Gold is 13 trillion by itself. And then you get to the entire crypto ecosystem is like 2.5 trillion, right? I'm not going to say all of this money is going into crypto, but quite a lot of it will end up in crypto, and a huge amount of it is going to end up in tokenized digital assets.
Right? A large amount of it is going to end up in crypto and tokenized digital assets. And he mentioned 400 trillion, 300 trillion, 13 trillion. I mean, come on, people. You have to understand how much money is about to flood into this space. And I'm physically showing you all that they are building out the infrastructure in order to do that, with networks like the Sui Network being one of the many infrastructure providers in this space. Again, don't just fixate your attention on Sui. You got Hedera, you got the XRPL, you got the Stellar ecosystem, you got XDC, you got many others out there, Base, Optimism, you got the Metal blockchain, so on and so forth. I mean, you got the Flare network. There's so much happening right now in the DeFi ecosystem. It's incomprehensible to most. And I can see why, because the developments are so rapid that people get left behind if they don't stay up to date. Last but not least, just to show you all that EY is talking about this stuff. Look at this, check this out. So we got this Capital X, the Next Generation Capital Markets Conference. Keep in mind how much money Paul Brody from EY just mentioned is going to come into this space. This is going to set pace on September 17th this year, 2024. And here you can see about the event. Capital X brings together industry-leading experts, innovators, and investors from traditional finance, fintech, and Web3 to exchange the latest insights in capital markets. Participating companies including Citi, EY, Circle, Hashkey, OTC, Onyx by JP Morgan. And we just heard a JP Morgan representative about them bringing everything onto public blockchains in the future, right? And look at what they're talking about. DEX and trading, decentralized exchanges and trading, right? Staking and lending. Oh, what is that? DeFi, people, come on. Regulatory compliance and frameworks. So staking and lending are the core concepts at the end of the day of how to earn in the DeFi ecosystem outside of being a liquidity provider. And we touch on this in the CYPRX Well 28 Club material. Look at what they're talking about on stage. I cannot, stress enough that this is the focus. Back, I'd say like 2-3 maybe years ago, the focus was cross-border payments. You saw them always talking about cross, and I'm not saying that niche has died, but now financial institutions are heavily fixated on DeFi. So again, shift your attention, shift your focus, and educate on what the financial institutions are getting educated on, because they are for a fact. Now, rolling back over to this last video clip, I just want to show you guys that Paul Brody mentions what he thinks is going to bring this money, this wall of liquidity back into crypto, back into digital assets, and he mentions DeFi in particular. And then we'll end it here. I've said enough. I've attempted to show you guys what's happening behind the scenes, keeping it real with you all. No bullish moon boy hopium. These are all perspectives from some of the largest organizations on the planet. If you can't see that after watching a video breakdown like this, then there's not a lot that will convince you and shake you to at least get you started in educating yourself. Regardless if you're going to join the CYPRX community or not, take it upon yourself to just go Google with your own fingers what's happening behind the scenes. Read these documents, watch these video clips yourself, and generate your own opinion and bias based off of what these large organizations are telling you publicly. Okay. And again, vast amount of this individual is going unnoticed. This particular video uploaded only 4 months ago has 322 views. People, there are billions of people on this planet, 560 active million crypto users, and 300 people have watched this. This just goes to show that not a lot of people are tapped in and paying attention. Their brains are being distracted. So let's listen to this and I'll leave you guys for the day.
So I think there will be a couple of knock-on effects as we go forward. And the first is that although crypto is having a great year, there's a couple of things I would expect to happen. Number one, DeFi. So DeFi is a little bit down, right? But I think it's coming back, and I'll talk a little bit about that. And then the other is industrial applications. So let me start with these.
Right. So I'll just cut it there because he went on long enough. But one of the things that he thinks is going to bring a knock-on effect, capital liquidity at a massive scale flooding back into this space, is DeFi. Okay, you heard it here from the horse's mouth. This is the global blockchain leader at EY, one of the top 4 major consulting firms. Again, teach his own, do your own personal research, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here in an attempt to enlighten individuals, to get you all to at least want to educate yourselves and branch out of your comfort zone, right? Take it upon yourselves to go learn about something you might not know a lot about, or maybe you do know a little bit about DeFi and you've dipped your toes in and you want to dive a little bit deeper. Come head over to the CYPRX trading website, join the CYPRX Well 28 Club. We'd love to have you on the team. We're just here to educate you guys and motivate you all to really enlighten yourselves on what's happening via behind the scenes, the digital transformation. As always, many blessings to you guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video breakdown. I know that it takes a little bit of a longer time to go through all these fundamentals and panel discussions, but hopefully you all have enjoyed this fruitful information, keeping you all engaged and forward looking. As always, do your own personal research. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next video breakdown.